your MIIA lobbyist, here with another update about what's going on in St. Paul. Well, you may not be able to tell from the video, but the screen behind me, but the pace is really picking up at the Capitol. And the reason why is it's legislative deadline week. Legislative deadlines are dates by which certain bills have to be out of certain committees. If they don't clear the committees by the deadlines, the bills are dead. Actually, mostly dead, because bills are kind of like soap opera characters. You can bring them back, but it's a lot harder if they didn't meet deadline. So the deadlines were put in place to help legislators meet the constitutional adjournment date in May. It's meant to keep them on task, but legislators are human mostly, and so they procrastinate like the rest of us. So as we get closer to deadlines, the pace gets faster, hearings get longer, agendas get more packed with more controversial issues. And so this video will reflect the crazy pace at the legislature. It's going to be longer than usual, and it's going to be packed with updates on what we're doing for you at the Capitol. Let's start with the money issues. Last week, it was announced that the projected state revenues next biennium have made a drastic improvement. The November forecast showed a budget deficit of $1.3 billion, and the February forecast just released showed that projected revenues would provide a surplus of $1.6 billion. Now, you would think that such good news would bring the House and Senate closer together, but sadly it is not. As part of his proposed budget, Governor Walz proposed raising the taxes of corporations and high-income earners. Even with the improved budget situation, the governor and the DFL leadership in the House are arguing that tax increases are still necessary, as the pandemic has only worsened wealth and other disparities in our state. The Senate, which is controlled by Republicans, has dismissed the idea of tax increases and argues that economic recovery is on a solid track without additional taxes. The surplus is, however, motivating progress in at least one really important area: the state forgiveness of federal PPP loans. In the face of a deficit, the DFL House was less than excited about the $400 million price tag of foregoing state taxes on the federal loans. But the influx of cash means that there's more one-time money available for other House priorities such as summer school. We will keep the pressure on until both houses pass the bill before the March 15th tax filing deadline. The Senate voted to renew the health insurance reinsurance program for the next biennium. This is great news, and I want to personally thank all of the MIIA members who contacted their legislators to support this legislation, which is absolutely critical to the stability of the individual health insurance market. Your participation played a key role in this important win. The bill now moves to the DFL-controlled House, where it's likely to meet more resistance, with opponents pushing for a public option or a complete government-run takeover of healthcare. Stay tuned for more updates and opportunities to support this important legislation and to help us preserve the private health insurance market. Also this week, I testified in support of Senate File 1020 in the Senate Commerce Committee. This bill will ensure that our association can continue to provide affordable and quality CE programming. By way of background, the Department of Commerce issued a bulletin last fall with surprising prohibitions on a CE provider's ability to display sponsor logos, thank corporate partners, and advertise on certain materials. After long months of negotiations with the Department of Commerce and other CE providers, we reached an agreement on several common sense updates to the DOC's CE restrictions. That agreement is contained in Senate File 1020, which passed unanimously out of the Commerce Committee, and the next stop is the Senate floor. One frightening trend this year is the number of bills proposing to replace or negatively impact the private insurance market. There's a bill to increase the payroll tax to pay for mandatory state-sponsored long-term care insurance. There are multiple bills that would implement a government-run health insurance program. Another bill would require employers to offer a retirement plan to their employees. Employers that can't offer a plan would be required to sign their employees up for a state-sponsored IRA. Think MIIA or MIIAs for your retirement. There are multiple bills that seek to expand the COVID-19 workers' comp presumption beyond first responders and healthcare workers, as well as bills that create a presumption for certain diseases and mental health conditions. Lastly, the state-run paid family and medical leave bill is flying through committees in the House. This is the bill that imposes yet another payroll tax increase on employers to fund a $900 million state-run insurance program for up to 24 weeks of leave per year. That's over 44% of the work year. These bills not only disrupt the private market, but they also further burden businesses reeling from the pandemic. Fighting these proposals is a top MIIA priority. Lastly, I would like to share some great and long-awaited news from the Department of Commerce. Within the next few days, the DOC will be announcing that online proctoring for the producer licensing exam will be going live. Yay! We have been pushing the DOC in this direction since the pandemic forced the live testing centers to close down. Lobbying during virtual deadline weeks is shaping up to be just as challenging as it was when we were in St. Paul, only I don't have to wear shoes. I will be back in a few weeks to let you know which bills survived. In the meantime, we will be fighting virtually to protect your interests. Thanks for listening.